We've got breaking news into CBS Sports HQ. Odell Beckham Jr. has a new team, and no, it's not the Jets. It's the Baltimore Ravens. The two sides agreeing to terms on a one-year deal worth up to $18 million. Odell missed all of last season after suffering a torn ACL in Super Bowl 56 with the Rams against the Bengals. He was scheduled to visit the Jets on Monday, but now, well, that's off the table. And for more on this story, we welcome in CBS Sports senior NFL insider Josina Anderson. Josina, you reported on Saturday that Odell was planning to fly to the New York area to meet with the Jets on Monday. Here we are on Sunday. It's announced, and he's announced even, that he's signing with the Ravens. So what changed?
Well, I spoke with Odell yesterday, and obviously he informed me that he was scheduled to come to visit the Jets. Fly in today on Easter Sunday, no less, and go through with his visit with the Jets. The Jets have been very adamant that any deal that they have been discussing and offers have been going back and forth, proposals rather between both parties, between the Jets and Odell. But what was necessary to kind of consummate that deal before anything got finalized was making sure that Odell had a physical and they were able to just get on the same page with regards to his role. Matter of fact, I've been talking to sources around that situation and the desire for the Jets to just kind of smooth that out with regards to his understanding. But even yesterday, as I spoke with him, one of the things that he said to me was that he was like, man, you know, I got to tell you, Joe, I'm feeling the love from the Baltimore Ravens with respect to just making him feel wanted. And it has long been my understanding that the Ravens were willing to do even what it took from a monetary standpoint to get Odell closer to the value that he feels like he brings as a Super Bowl champ and as someone that has shown his talent throughout the duration of his career. And what happened today really, again, because I'm having deja vu, reminds me of what happened the day that he announced and confirmed that he was going to the Rams. So if you would just allow me to reflect back a little bit, that day when it was the morning, all along, my feeling was that he was going to go to the Packers just based on his desire to play with Aaron Rodgers and to, you know, play with an all-time great at quarterback. And one of the things that he said to me that morning, if I recall, was that he was going to delay his decision until the next week. And I was like, great, I can relax. I don't have to think about this and whatever. And I remember jumping on a hit with you guys, CBS Sports HQ. It was around 1 or 2 in the middle of the afternoon. And right as I got off the phone, or excuse me, right after I got off doing this hit with you guys at the time, he had let me know that he had changed his mind. And that day he was hearing from Von Miller and Jalen Ramsey and Cooper Kupp and all that other stuff. And he was just getting the warmth from that team. And if you notice, you know, I haven't said too much on Twitter with regards to everything because of what I just told you. I know that Odell has the ability to be fluid, and he really tries to take his time to listen to his heart and his spirit. Haven't talked to him too much today, and it was so funny because I was just talking to a source and I was like, you know what, it's really quiet. And you know, I noticed that his text hadn't gone green all day today because of flying from here to there. I just said that to someone within the last couple of hours, but went back to, you know, Easter with the, you know, family and all that other stuff. And obviously things have really started to turn, you know, very quickly. But I go back to what he said to me yesterday. He said it yesterday. And quite frankly, was having discussions with Jet sources even today with regards to, just where everything was standing. But what people need to know, I would say, is that going back even to the owners' meetings when Odell met with the Ravens, that was not the first time that these two sides have been talking. They have been talking for a while. Owner Steve Biscotti, like I just tweeted out on Twitter, just told me, just yesterday, he continued to be in Odell's ear with regards to the pitch of coming to the Ravens and, what they feel like his role would be and his ability to lead the wide receiver squad there. And obviously be an integral part in really the ultimate goal for the organization, which is getting everything squared away with Lamar Jackson. And despite
Josina, let me jump in. Can I jump in real fast? Because the story you just told about Odell and the Rams, and then the follow-up with the owner, Steve Biscotti, it can be instructive here. Because if Odell was hearing from players on the Rams, and that had something to do with the love he was feeling from L.A. at the time, he's hearing from Steve Biscotti, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, it does lend to the question, where is Lamar Jackson in all of this? Because one of the things that the Ravens have been, kind of hit with is they haven't put together the best wide receiver core for Lamar Jackson through his career. Getting an Odell Beckham Jr. could change that. Where do the Ravens stand, and how does this affect what happens with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson?
So, yes, as I was getting ready to say, I know that the Ravens recently had their draft presser, and there was a few exchanges, just between officials and the media, stopping questions on Lamar. And some people took away from that, this kind of is indicative of just the tone of where they are, and maybe they're moving past because, I also had reported that the team is having a meeting with Anthony Richardson. But from my conversations that I've had and continue to have, and I've said this on Twitter, the Ravens realize that Lamar Jackson presents to them the shortest hypotenuse between where they are now and their ultimate goal, which is to constantly be a contender in the postseason and to get to the Super Bowl. And even if they do draft a quarterback, that quarterback is going to need time to acclimate and get into the system, even though it's a new system for everybody with offensive coordinator Todd Monken. But if they have their druthers, it would be with Lamar Jackson at QB1, and there being some sort of meeting in an appropriate middle with respect to where things are now, having placed a non-exclusive tag on him for $32 million, and what he's been asking for that they feel like makes business sense. They still want Lamar. They still love Lamar. But both the owner, the head coach, and everybody in that building are still businessmen and would still like to deal with this as businessmen.
Josina Anderson, never a dull moment, Josina. Thank you so much for jumping on. Happy Easter to you, by the way.
Thank you. I'm trying. Thank you.
Josina Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. Odell Beckham Jr. about to be one of the newest members of the Baltimore Ravens, who ranked last in the NFL last year in receiving yards per game by their wide receivers at under 100 receiving yards per game.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.